Welcome back everyone to Game of the Week, a series where each week I'll be taking a niche and unpopular Roblox game and reviewing it. And if I miss a single week of uploading, the series will end. As always, each game that I review will be linked down in the description below, so if you want to play the game, all you have to do is scroll down and click on the first link you see in the description. So without any further dilly-dallying, this week's Game of the Week is... Nocturner. Now, when I first saw this game, I noticed it was pretty high quality. It has a pretty great thumbnail and pretty cool graphics, and it's overall just well designed. So, I thought that I wasn't gonna need to make a video on this game because it probably already has a pretty consistent player base and is already pretty popular. Surely, it doesn't have 10 concurrent players online right now. And then I clicked on it and it had 10 concurrent players online right now. So I low-key had to make a video on this game. The game itself is pretty simple to understand. It's your average zombie shooter game where you shoot up zombies and get guns, but it's mixed in with some ultra kill mechanics. So outside of just having to kill zombies, you also have to maneuver around the map and you have to do it really fast. And it actually gets complicated on harder maps. The first round I ever played in this game was on a map called Morbid Mansion, I think, and that one was pretty easy. You had a lot of open space to run around. But then, I decided to play a game on the map called Docks. And as soon as I hopped in, I got my ass beat in like 5 seconds. In fact, I'm just gonna roll the clip of what happened. So yeah, I was trying to fight the zombies in tiptoe on this narrow-ass bridge that the map is made of. And I got myself stuck in a group of zombies and they almost killed me, but I barely managed to escape with my life. And then a fucking tentacle came out the sea and slapped me across the head and killed me instantly. And that was the end of that match. I did not last even 30 seconds. Now, on my second round, though, I'm proud to say that I did beat the map Docks, and my second run is actually what you're seeing right now. But to say that I beat the map is kind of an overstatement, because in reality my team just kind of carried the fuck out of me and I barely did anything the entire round. But hey man, a win is a win. Listen, I got the badge, so I can at least get some bragging rights, I think. But anyways, the way that the general gameplay loop of this game works is that you start off by going to the lobby and picking one of the 4 random maps that generate on your screen. You and your team have to vote for whichever map you want to play, and they range in difficulty. You have, as I mentioned before, super easy maps like the fucking Haunted Manor or whatever it's called, and you have like super hard maps like the Docks, where one wrong step will take away like fucking half of your HP. After that, you will spawn in on said map, and you will have whatever loadout you decided to make in the lobby with you. And from there, all you have to do is kill zombies and collect the points that they drop. And these points can be used in 3 things. The first thing, and simplest thing, is reviving your teammates. If your teammate dies, their skull will appear next to the closest valid spot on the map to where they died. And if you go up to that skull, you can spend a couple points to revive your teammate. The second thing that points can be spent on is buying more weapons, which are exclusive to the weapons that generate inside of crates when you're actually in a round. Opening these crates will present you with a choice of weapons that you can buy for a certain amount of points, and obviously the system is pretty simple. The better that a weapon is, the more points it costs, and the worse the weapon is, the less points it costs, and that's pretty much it. And the third and last thing you can spend your points on is removing the obstacles and barricades around the map. So during a match of Nocturner, your actual goal is to make it to a little spot on the map called Soul Altar. And then you have to kill enemies near that Soul Altar for the Soul Altar to collect souls. And once it collects a certain number number of souls, the final boss fight of the map begins. But to do that, you'll have to remove obstacles, as I said, and each obstacle that you remove will require you to spend a certain amount of points to actually remove it. Now, you don't have to have all the points at once. In fact, your team can just individually invest whatever amount of points they have into removing the trap, and once you reach the amount of points necessary to actually remove the barricade or trap or whatever it is, then, well, it will just simply disappear. And finally, once you remove enough obstacles to get to the soul altar and fill it up with souls, you'll be teleported to a completely different arena to face the final boss of the map. And once you defeat him, you're good to go. You go back to the lobby. Well, first you get your rank, because you know the whole ultra kill rank inspiration, you know. Depending on which kind of combos you got and how much acrobatics you did and whatnot, you will get a rank based on all that. And then when you get a rank, you actually get teleported to the lobby and get all the money that you got from defeating the map and whatnot, and then you can buy your cool, awesome weapons in the lobby and make a new loadout, and the cycle repeats. Now, personally, I think this gameplay loop is pretty fun, and I enjoy playing the game just because of it. However, what makes the gameplay even more interesting is all the badges that you can acquire while playing the game. Because much like The Zombies Revenge, which is another game I covered on this channel, this game also has a shit ton of badges in it, and a lot of these badges are really difficult to get. Now, these badges can range from a bunch of different things, like just doing really specific stuff, such as using your items a certain amount of times in a round, or running over 10 zombies with a car, to other stuff like just completing super difficult challenges, such as getting the Nocturnal plus, or I guess Nocturne plus rank during a game, or surviving certain maps on the maximum intensity that the game allows, or stuff like that. And these badges really keep the game fresh, because even though each map is super unique in this game, and each map has unique enemies and unique obstacles and unique layouts and all of that, once you beat a map, once you beat every map in the game once, you kind of experienced all of the game. So having these really hard challenges that you can complete for bragging rights and for badges is really cool. And, you know, it keeps the gameplay a little bit fresher, because, you know, outside of just having to, like, kill zombies and never change up your strategy, you might have to do something a little bit different during certain games if you want to get certain achievements. The only real quote-unquote problem, I guess, that I have with these achievements is that they don't really do anything. They're kind of just like bragging rights in the game, but I wish they did a little bit more. Like, for example, bringing up the Zombies Revenge again, because it's another semi-zombie survival game. In that game, whenever you get a badge, the badge gives you a certain name tag, and it gives you like a little bit of currency. It gives you like a little bit of a reward for getting that badge. And I wish that there was a thing like that with this game. Like, for example, if you beat like a super difficult achievement, like beating a really hard map on the maximum intensity, I wish it would reward you with like some cool, like, unique weapon that you can't get otherwise, or something like that, you know. Maybe it doesn't even have to be a weapon. It can be like a unique gadget or something like that. Some kind of a reward for completing really hard achievements. And if you complete like an easy achievement or something, it can just reward you with like, I don't know, like some extra gold or some extra XP or something like that. Again, usually this is not really like a problem or anything with most games that I play, but with this game specifically, with how many badges it has, I feel like it's a little bit of a missed opportunity to just have all the badges not really do anything. Now, when I talked about those badges, you might have noticed that I mentioned a little something called intensity. And that's because difficulty in this game actually comes from two aspects. The first and most easiest aspect to explain is the map difficulty. Now, as I mentioned before, when you're in the lobby before a game starts, you can choose what map you want to play on. And obviously, these maps range in difficulty. As I mentioned, something like the docks is a really hard map, because you don't really have a lot of space to move around, and you have to make a lot of hard jumps, and if you fall in the water, you lose a bunch of your HP. And then there are other easier maps, like the Manor map, where, you're just in an open space and you just run around and avoid zombies, and that's pretty much it. But the other way to increase your difficulty is with intensity, which I believe only goes up to 4.0 times. And what intensity does is increases the speed of zombies and the health of zombies that run around the map. So you're going to have to be moving a lot more and jumping around a lot more and just trying a lot harder than usual to avoid zombies if you're playing on higher intensity. Now, how exactly intensity increases, I'm not too sure about. I think there's a way to increase it by paying for it or something in the lobby. And there's it also I believe it also just normally increases if you're doing super well, and if you beat a map, it increases a little bit for the next round, and then if you beat another, it increases even more for the next round, and so on and so on. I believe at least that's how it works, but that's the other way to increase the difficulty in the game. And when you pair both these things together, when you have 4 times intensity, for example, and you play on a super hard map, you're gonna need quite a lot of luck and quite a lot of skill and quite a lot of experience if you want to get even close to beating a map with all those different modifiers. So yeah, overall, even though this seems like a simple survival zombie game on the surface, there's actually a lot more to it, and it gets pretty fun if you get used to the game. So yeah, overall, I think this game is absolutely worth playing, and I suggest you guys go check it out. I know I'll certainly be returning to this game in the future, so if you guys want to catch me lacking in the lobby randomly, then feel free to try to hunt for me. But so that's really all I have to say for this video. Go play the game, see if you can find some secrets that I missed out on in this video by yourself, and that's really all I have to say. Yeah, see you later everyone. Goodbye.